Hello, fight fans. This is Rick Rock. This boxing podcast is brought to you by Team Humble Hands. Today's guest is Saul Neno Rodriguez. Thank you for having us out, Saul.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I know you're a hot prospect right now, coming up as a young gun. Your last victory was a huge one. How was your preparations for that victory?
Oh man, we trained hard. We just sparred a lot. We trained a lot. We ran a lot. So we did everything we were supposed to do to get ready. The weight, we did it on point. We had a meal prep company to help me lose weight, and we were just ready. We knew it was gonna be a tough fight, but we were just ready. And thank God everything came out perfect.
I know sometimes as a boxer you prepare to go the distance, but when you get get somebody out, quick and fast, what goes through your head after the victory? Is it more of a relief or?
Yeah, I mean, the earlier I could finish the fight, the better. But I mean, I've had 4 first-round knockouts before that one, so I knew I could always end the fight early. But just being able to end a fight at that caliber that early, it was a lot more satisfying. I thought I was gonna finish the fight like around 5 or 6. I would finish him off, but I have power. I have 1-punch knockout power, so I could definitely could knock somebody out in the first round.
Speaking of that power, is you tend to have power with both hands. You use both hands and you set your punches up. It's not like you're the type of fighter that just walks through people. You set up your punches. Do you contribute that to the sparring that work that you're getting, or have you always just been a really strong power?
I mean, the power I believe is always natural, but I don't want to be just like just a power puncher. Like, just what people have to be careful is just my power. I spar a lot of professionals, a lot of great champions. So in our camp, I feel like I'm trying to become more of a technical, like a puncher boxer or a boxer puncher. So I don't always have to rely on my power. So I can have skills, so I can set everything up, and the only thing I have is not just my power.
Talk to me a little bit about the amateur system and the pedigree that you came out in. Who are some of the fighters you've gone through in amateurs, and what was that process for you?
I mean, I've had a lot of the top amateurs. A lot of them that were on the top are not professionals now, but I had 100 amateur fights as amateur, and I did qualifiers to make the trials for the Olympics, and I lost versus Jose Ramirez, which he ended up representing the United States in my division. So, I mean, it was a great experience as amateur. And it was my style. I feel like is more professional.
Exactly.
And I still had like over 35 knockouts as amateur in my 185. So my power transitioned well to the pros.
Yeah, especially because amateurs, it's rare for somebody to actually go down. What do you think about now that they're fighting without headgear, and how would that have benefited you if you were still in the amateur system?
Yeah, I think I would have been a lot better. It would have been more convenient for me, but I mean, unfortunately, it happened after I turned pro. So I mean, it's fine. But I would have liked to have fought amateur with no headgear.
Yeah, it benefits some fighters and some other fighters it doesn't. But for you, I think it would have really brought up your skills and your power, and took you to the next level, maybe to the Olympics. But you were already close. What are some of the other tournaments you participated in as an amateur?
I only fought like a few nationals as a man in the men's. I fought like 2-3 nationals as men's, and then I just turned pro at 18. But I fought the national PAL, and I lost in the semifinal versus Ken Sims. He's professional now too, and he ended up winning the tournament. And I fought Kevin Rivers in that tournament too. I stopped him in the second round. I had just so many opponents that I fought that were good in amateurs.
What made you actually commit to boxing and to lace up the gloves, and how old were you when you actually put them on for the first time?
I wanted to start fighting when I was 5. Yeah. Well, my parents didn't take me until I was like 7.5, almost 8.
Yeah, it's still young age.
But they always took my sister ice skating, because she liked to ice skate, and she's 3 years older. So they would take her ice skating, and they would take me, try to make me ice skate, and I would cry saying that's for girls. I didn't want to ice skate.
No part of it.
And then I always thought, because I thought it was for girls, so I didn't want to do it. And I would cry saying that they didn't like me because they took her ice skating and they wouldn't take me boxing because that's what I wanted to do. And they ended up taking me like 2 years later. I would wrestle like WWF with my friends, like my neighbors. We lived in Los Angeles at the time, and my friend had a trampoline, so we would wrestle like WWF, make entrances like boxers and like WWF wrestlers. And once I started boxing, I boxed for 1 week. Then the next week, my parents like, oh yeah, have them spar. So I got beat up and I started crying. They're like, oh, that's good. You're not gonna want to box no more. But once the next day after I got beat up, sparring, my dad got home from work and I was ready with my bag, just go to the gym again. I wanted to box. That's what I wanted to do. So. And
where did you start your amateur career, and who were you with?
I made like 2 amateur fights with my first trainer, Lucilo.
Yeah.
Nolasco from Azteca in LA. I started with him, and after that I moved to Riverside, and I started training with a guy, Andy Suarez. Yeah. He passed away already, 2006. But and then after that, my dad started training, and then Big G and Mikey moved over here to Riverside, and then I started working with them. I was 17.
Mr. Garcia, he doesn't always get the credit that he deserves as a boxing coach. I find him to be one of the best coaches out there. What are some of the things that he taught you right away and you adapted to his style?
Just my defense, like in general. Because when I was amateur, I knew I had power, and a lot of opponents and amateurs would beat me is because of points. So he taught me more defense. That's what I lacked in, and just sparring with Mikey helped me a lot in my defense. But he always practices my defense and helps me, teaches me like what the mentality you have to go in there with. My jab, I didn't like jab. Never use my jab. But now, I know jab is really important in boxing.
Set up your power punches also with your combination.
You can control the fight with the jab.
Yeah. Now, for your boxing style, what is a combination or what is a punch that you just love that you've noticed always connects?
My left hook.
Yeah.
My left hook is like the most educated hand punch I have. So any boxer that they could think. No, going into a fight, every opponent is gonna be careful for the left hook.
Avoid it.
Avoid the left hook. But I'm gonna start hitting with my right. They're gonna be like, man, he's hitting with the right. Yeah. It's not the left hook, it's the right. And then I end up knocking him out with the left hook still. Yeah,
there's sometimes where you catch your opponent coming in and you set the little short left hook. Mm-hmm. Talk about a little bit about your sparring here in Riverside and with Team Garcia, and how has that benefited you as where you're at now? Yeah.
When the gym was in Oxnard, I would go out there and spar sometimes too for my fights. But now here in Riverside, I spar with Brandon from my last fight, Mikey, Ronnie Rios from my last fight. We have a lot of sparring come through, and we have great sparring partners there. I spar with Hector Tanajara, Jonathan Navarro, Mike Perez, Mikey Garcia. So this is top quality sparring.
Mikey Garcia is one of the most technical fighters out there. I know right now he's in a little hiatus. But when was the first time you actually stepped in with him, and what was your experience?
At 17, the first time I sparred with him, and everything, like if you watch him spar with somebody else, it looks basic. Like everything he does is, he don't do it, he don't do nothing flashy, but subtle, but it's subtle, but it's smart and very, very accurate. And it's tough. It was tough sparring with him at first, especially my defense wasn't so good. And but I picked it up fast. I try to do stuff he does, and he teaches me himself too. Tells me things that I need to improve on, work on. And I learned a lot of little tricks that like veteran moves from him. Cause somebody could teach you them, but it's better to learn them when somebody else does them to you. Oh, when a veteran does moves to you,
he can explain to you, this is why I did this, or this is how I did this.
or he does them to you, so you're like, man, you see it happen and you feel it happen. So and then I try to do them to somebody else, because it's hard to do them to him. But I always practice on somebody else. It's a lot easier.
So it sounds like Mikey kind of took you, under his wing from day one, and you've been benefiting a lot from it. Are you satisfied with the way your career's been run so far? I know they're taking their time and they're building you up, which is great, but sometimes a fighter gets a little bit eager. How are you, and how's your position right now?
I know Top Rank, they move their fighters slow, but they're great at building prospects and stars and world champions, so I let them do their job. Cameron Dunk is a great manager, and Brad Goodman's my matchmaker. He's a great matchmaker, so I let them take care of their job. But they tell me things I have to work on to improve my fighting skills. And I always work on them, and I always take the advice they give me, everything. But I'm happy with how everything's going. It's taken step by step. They put me on Solo Excel right away.
Yeah.
Early in my career, and I've had like around maybe 9 or 10 fights on Solo Excel. Got 2 of the best knockouts 2014 on Solo Excel. So I mean, it has improved my Latino fan base a lot, fighting on the Spanish channels. And now my last fight being on True TV, it was a great introduction to the American audience.
Your last fight was against Ivan Najera. That was supposed to be, one of your toughest fights, and you were able to put him away early. Felix Verdejo, another top prospect, he didn't have the same look as you did versus Najera. It's natural that people are already mixing up both of you guys' names because some people have him as a top prospect, some people have you, and it depends on who you talk to. What's your opinion on Felix, and how do you see him as another hot prospect?
He's definitely a prospect. He's very skilled too, young, age like me, everything like they're building us almost same. So, but I mean, of course, he's an Olympian, so they have him fighting on bigger networks, and they're moving him a lot faster than they moved me. But me not being an Olympian, they're moving me fast, and I'm making myself known with the fights that they give me as.
Up and you watch taped over, or you idolize?
I like Mike Tyson, one of my favorite. My favorite Mike Tyson. I like just the energy. You don't eat nothing. You're just focused on the fight because it could end any second.
It was like a certain electricity when Tyson would come here, become barbecue, or Chavez too. It's just a certain feeling that you don't really get that much from fights now. It's just a certain.
Like Mike Tyson was one of my favorite, and then also James Toney. I like James Toney.
Yeah, both of them are not really your style, but they both have a lot of power in there.
Yeah,
and they land. What's in store for you in 2016, and what do you have planned?
2016, hopefully get my first fight this year in March, and then just move to bigger networks. I want to fight on HBO, so maybe in the main event on True TV first, and then move to HBO, or a opener on pay-per-view or something like that. I'm sure they can do it.
I know you've been working hard, and when you're in camps, it's full go. But just talk to me about you just came back from a vacation and did a little bit of family time. And
it was great. I went to Jalisco for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, and I went to a lot of bull riding, like toros.
Yeah, it's cool.
Rodeo, so I seen that a lot, and of course I was with my family for Christmas, and then a lot of rooster fights and a lot of like banda, and a lot of there's a lot of people there, a lot of people from the States too, so it's a mixture of people from here and from over there.
Yeah, it's a good experience because even though you're Mexican American, that's just a side and a culture that we don't really see over here. Yeah. So it's definitely a good experience. When I've gone to Mexico too. Do the people recognize you over there? Or
because they pass my fights over there in Channel 7, TV Azteca.
Yeah.
So a lot of people see my fights over there. So then especially they know when I'm there because I always like fireworks. So whenever I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm always lighting fireworks. Once I wake up, I'm lighting fireworks, and people know that, like, dang, he's here.
That's cool. So you just get them over there, and you just start popping them off?
I know the people who make them, so once I get there, I order them, and they make them for me every, 2-3 days. I get keep them coming.
So now that you came back from vacation, when are you going to start, getting back in the gym?
I'm already in the gym. Today I'm going to go to the gym, so, I started last week, and this is my second week back, and I feel good. I went running with all the guys from the gym today, so it's good. Talk
about how that gym has grown, Garcia grown here in Riverside. A couple of years, there was really nothing going on over here, not as much as now. Now it seems like there's a lot of prospects, a lot of professionals out here in Riverside.
Yeah, even one of our own fighters that we have, one of my friends from South Little, Josecito Lopez. Yeah. He's training with us now, so it's great to have another Riverside fighter with us. Yeah. But
they call him the Riverside Rocky, right?
Riverside Rocky, yeah. And he's one of my great friends. But he's training with us now, and we have a great stable of fighters, hungry, and we're all coming and I'm sure a lot of the ones fighters we have now are gonna be world champions too.
That sounds good that you guys have a really. Who else is there that's gonna? Chavez Jr. is gonna.
Chavez Jr. is gonna start training soon. So he was there for his last camp, and I was there, and Chavez Senior would show up here often. So
cool.
That's great. That's great to have some type of a legend.
Yeah.
A living legend go to the gym. You know, you see him, it's like, man.
When it's fighters like that sip in the gym, do you notice like a different in media?
Just even being near him, it's like a crazy energy. It's like, man, this guy's all the wars that he's been in, all the fights he's been in, all his accomplishments. He's just being near him is like, man, you just. But he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, and Chavez Jr. is a real cool dude. We went play soccer a few times. He likes playing soccer, so we would go to. He would invite us to go play soccer after training, and it was great with his team.
Is there anything that maybe that you're involved in or you're into besides boxing? You know, sometimes
I like going fast in my car.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I good, but I mean I go to drag strips sometimes. I like shooting. I like going to shooting ranges. I like anything competitive.
Yeah.
Like I like competing with my friends in basketball and anything like cards, pool table.
Sounds like you picked up some of Mikey Garcia's habits there, huh?
Yeah, I would go with him. We would go to the canyons. I forgot what the canyons is called. But we would go race in the canyons and just go fast in the canyons. And I would go with him too to the drag strip, and we would go race. And I mean, it's just fun. I mean, it's just a hobby. It's just a hobby. All we do is box. I mean, I don't work. I don't go to school, so I try to keep myself busy. Every morning I just go to LA Fitness or go running with the guys.
Yeah. You
know, we go to the track, go to the pool, or go run a mountain or something like that.
So a day like in your regimen when you're training hard, how do you do strength and conditioning? I know you mentioned meal preps to help you with the weight, but a day of training, like what does it look like a day for Neno?
Just every day, wake up, run, come back, eat something healthy like an oatmeal, and then I love to watch movies. So I watch movies. I watch comedy movies, action movies, and then just rest and eat again and wait to go to the gym later and spar.
One thing that the fans don't really appreciate or know is like sometimes the wear and tear it takes on the body.
Oh, man.
And sometimes professional fighters go into fights with injuries that no one knows about.
There's always an injury. Every fight, you're never 100%. Something always goes wrong. You get sick. You even like if going to a fight, if you have like a blister on your knuckle and it peels, it's stinging every time you just squeezing your hand. It stings. So, I mean, I've fought with a sprained ankle before. I sparred with hurt hands. I mean, I fought with hurt hands. Yeah. I've gotten sick the week before my fight.
Wow. So
I have to rest, and it's hard to make weight.
Yeah.
While you have to rest, so I mean it's hard, and you never. I mean, every fighter says, "Oh yeah, I'm 100% this fight." It's very rare if you're ever 100%. If there's no injuries, if there's no problems throughout the camp.
Was there any fight where you weren't sure you were going to be able to go and you were kind of contemplating pulling out?
I pulled out of one fight. I had chickenpox.
Wow.
I had chickenpox, so I had to cancel. I
went
to the doctor. Fevers was bad. I've never had chickenpox. So, and the older you get, the worse it is. So I had fever. I had chickenpox everywhere.
Wow. And
I had to cancel. I couldn't do anything. I was like, but I've had a few fights where. I got sick the week right before the fight, and I couldn't train. I couldn't run.
Yeah.
So I mean, I couldn't fight at the pace I wanted to. I know the condition I had, so I couldn't fight at the pace I wanted to. So I had to pace myself throughout. So
kind of change a little strategy in the fight. Is there something that the fans, you would want to let the fans know that maybe they don't know about you, or you talk about your hobbies, or is there something that you want to, something about Neno that they might...
Something about me is just I'm hungry, I want to be a champion, and I want to give you guys exciting fights. I love boxing, and I love getting knockouts, so I'm always more satisfied if I get a knockout. So I always want to get a knockout for the fans and for myself. And I love my family and I love my heritage, so I want to make everybody proud.
Thank you for having us in your home.
Thank you guys for coming through.
In 2016. And is there anywhere people could follow you and follow your career and check you out?
On Instagram and Twitter at team_Neno and Facebook at Saul Rodriguez.
Thank you, Neno, and see you in the ring.
Thank you.